Task number 3 was cleaning the chicken coop out. I try to do this about once every 2 weeks. I fortunately have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 broody hens. I am taking the eggs from these 3. These 2 girls down here, I'm letting them keep the eggs to see if they hatch. I'm curious. Call it an experiment. It's a white silky, which are very broody. And then I believe that's my black Wyandotte. It's funny because my blue Wyandotte's being broody. Raven, my rescue, which is an Easter acre, she lays a blue tinted egg. And then I have a black Cochin Bantam, and she's being broody. Now these are the eggs I pulled just a few minutes ago. I got to bring a bucket out. I didn't do that because I knew I was cleaning. But all of the boxes were cleaned except for these 2 because I ain't messing with them. Same with her. And I cleaned completely around them and tried to sprinkle as much new bedding around them as I could. But that white silky is a psycho when she's broody, so I ain't even messing with her. I swept all of this up here because grain and stuff falls from the chicken feed up here. And then of course, I think I've shown this before. This closes up here to keep the chickens out and keep them from roosting on top of the nesting boxes. So it works. And there's their exit right there. That right there is a solar power door that I don't use. I might use it one day, but I just don't trust. I've seen too many people have issues with them where they didn't close all the way, or they closed on top of a chicken, or I'd rather come out every morning to make sure all of my chickens are okay, open their door and let them out, close them up every night to make sure they're all okay. So I brought the new putty knife to scrape the poop off of the 2x4s. So I got a good majority except for over there. Like I said, because the broody girls, I wasn't going to mess with them. So this was task number 3. It is a whopping 85 degrees in here, and I believe it. I am sweating my ass off. So this is the 3rd wheelbarrow chicken poop, and then all of the wasted hay and wet bedding from the goats are along the back fence. I don't think you can see it from here, but it's diatomaceous earth. Let's see if I can zoom in. All the way across that fence, that is all the wheelbarrows that I dumped today. We're supposed to get rain tomorrow, so that's why my main reason was of wanting to really get this done today. And Wednesday I'm driving to Dallas to pick up the 2 piglets. So I had to get this done today because I won't be able to do it on Wednesday. Wednesday is usually my cleaning day. But with all of the extra babies and the extra bodies to take care of, I think we're up to, with the pigs, we'll be at, I think, 165 mouths to feed with the piglets when they come Wednesday. Oops, sorry. I need to zoom out so you can see. So yeah, I'm up to 165 critters. Most of them are poultry. Chickens, teenagers, Roo hiding behind the door, ducks in the pool, ducks in the water bowl, Where's my goose? Where's Goose Goose? I see one Goose Goose. Where's Goose Goose number? Oh, there she is. There he is. I didn't see you, Goosey Goose. I didn't see you. It's starting to cool off. They have their big blue pool over there that I dumped and cleaned. And they want to hang out in their square little black bucket. Which I did just clean too. Which I will have to dump and clean again. Oh, yeah. Yeah, buddy. I see you. Thanks for sneaking up on me. Sorry if I don't just, like, trust you. You're just kind of, you know, an asshole. You're a handsome asshole. George has been pulling feathers out of his head. They've been kind of rowdy this spring. They've been really rowdy. There's the ducklings. The baby ducklings. They're playing in their little pool. And the chickens are eating their dinner. I'm making a mess out of the duckling pen. As soon as I get done with the chicken coop, I will be going in there with a garden rake, smoothing it out, pulling out the wet bedding. And I see you, buddy. Smoothing out the bedding and putting fresh bedding down. Putting fresh bedding down in the big duck pen too. But they're tearing this up. You guys having fun? And they're like, oh yeah. Hey George, look at you. Look at this. They've all but about buried their water bowl. I'm gonna have to scrub and bleach that. They buried their food container. It's just a plastic nubbin sticking out. Chickens. They've got that all nice and loose. That would be great garden soil. So I'm hoping, hi chickas. I'm hoping, hi duckas. My gotas. My gotas. My gotas. My gotas. What you doing, girls? What you doing, Paulo? I know. You heard me feeding the other animals. I'm hoping as more of the baby animals move outside, I will have more time to work on this. I come out, spend about 5 minutes pulling weeds here and there. I've got zinnias coming up. I've got annuals coming up that have reseeded. Get out of the netting. You see. Oh. The violas are starting to die from the heat. So once they die, I'll pull those out. I'm thinking, guessing, hoping that these fuzzy leaves are Rhodobeckia that I planted last year and they reseeded. And if so, they've reseeded everywhere. I'm hoping it's not a weed. You try to use those apps and they gave you 14% of this and 10% of that. These tall, leggy things, they gave a percentage that they may be some type of Cosmo. I planted seeds, but they didn't come up last year. So I don't know if they're coming up this year. It's so darn hard telling. It's kind of frustrating that I can't find a true identity of some of this stuff. And there is a lot of weeds. I just haven't had time to come and weed. I've got Wednesday through Sunday off. See, I just don't know what these tall, lanky stuff is. And a lot of it's dying. So it's hard telling. I'll probably go through and just pull it all. If it doesn't start producing, I thought maybe it might be Queen's Anne lace, or I think it's Daria that I planted last year, which is kind of like a Queen Anne's lace. I really don't know. It's definitely being left until I figure it out or it all dies because it's not doing very good. Bougainvillea came back. I cut all but a couple of stems off. I got to go back through and finish trimming the branches, but it's doing really good. It has a beautiful fuchsia color flower in the late summer, early fall. And this is a grapevine. And I've got 2 more grapes that I'm going to put over here, hoping to maybe get a couple of grapes this year off of this vine. We will see. It's even way up here. So I did not cut it back because it is such a young vine and it doesn't have a thick cane, and I really want that cane to thicken up. So I left it. I've got, like I said, 2 more grapes to plant, and I'm going to plant them over here once this gets weeded. That's a Rose of Sharon right there. More violas, tons and tons of weeds. Buried under the weeds is some coreopsis. I've got zinnias popping up here and there. I've got dahlias popping up here and there. Most of the stuff that I planted bulb-wise, the chickens destroyed when they got in here and dug everything up. So, that was a tropical plant that died, and I figured it wouldn't come back, but I left it just in case. This is coming back. This was my honeysuckle, and I got baby honeysuckle down there, so that will stay. Canna is starting to get bloom stalks already, and it's coming back beautiful this year. It's coming back double its size. This one's coming back beautiful too. This is got a dark red. And then my olive tree died, but the one I have still in the pot did not die. But this, I don't know what's going on, but like the bark split and peeled on it. So I don't know if it got a disease. I will be pulling that out. It was an olive. This I need to trim back. You see down there. Oh, spider. Yuck. Sorry. Down there. Honeysuckle is coming up real thick and heavy. I'm really happy about that. So I'll be cutting that back, weeding that. Right now we're having a big time issue with caterpillars. Tent worms are real bad this time of year, but that is a climbing rose there. And then in the middle, I have got more honeysuckle, and another climbing rose is right there. And they are a orange, which will look really sharp with my fuchsia supertunias. Those will spread out. They get massive. I have 2 plants that were just little pots, and you can see how big they've already gotten. So between that and the orange honeysuckle and the orange roses, these should be beautiful if I can keep them alive. I planted a rose here and it shocked. So I don't know if it'll come back. Unfortunately, when you buy those $8 roses from Walmart, most of the time they don't do real good, but I always attempt. They're not that expensive to try. It's better than losing like a $45 to $100 rose bush. So, of course, everything needs to be mowed out here. My banana tree is coming back, which I'm excited about. I thought I would lose it. This is coreopsis, and it was just a small plant last year, and it has gotten absolutely massive, which I'm really excited about. And then my phlox came back, and then I've got like a purple clover that I planted last year that's come back, so I'm excited about that. And then this is my fire bush, and it's something else that comes from the bottom up. And I do have babies on it, so now I can trim the branches back. I kind of like to leave the branches because of the fact that I forget where stuff is, and because of things being so weedy, plants get pulled out on accident. Then I've got gladiolas and some lilies in here that are coming up. Lantana right there. This is a Mexican sage. Nope, Mexican honeysuckle is right here. And then in front of it is a purple Mexican petunia. That was a surprise add to my plant that I bought that wasn't supposed to be there. And then all of these little starts that are mixed with the weeds are zinnias. So this will be like last year where it's just going to be slammed. I do need to come out here and weed. I see more gladiolas there. What else do we got going on here? Weeds. My Russian sage is starting to come up. It's looking really good this year. I'm really excited about it. So that should be just freaking amazing. It's going to be big and lush. Gladiolas, tons of zinnias. They're even out here in the grass. They're even out in the yard over there. I like things that reseed, especially with my lack of time. So that's that. My goal by the end of summer, which is not looking very bright right at the moment. I want all of this all the way up. You can see where I've got the cardboard there and the bushes that I planted. I want all of this to be garden. And then I will have just a walkway that goes through the archway. It'll go around this garden, and then there'll be a walkway along this fence, which is getting replaced with a cattle panel to keep the goats, the chickens, the pigs, the ducks, the turkeys all out of here. But all of this green will be a garden. It's just taking forever because it just, like I said, lack of time. It's not the lack of money this year, it's the lack of time. But I'm hoping to get a whole bunch of stuff done since, and then my other plan on the other side where the honeysuckle is, so I want to do a garden along here. This is the start of my shade garden, which I want to continue all the way back to the fence. I'll put boards across the bottom to keep critters from coming through. I've got possums coming in here digging, and I've got other critters that possums and armadillos, rabbits, they're all coming through, which is irritating. So, but this section over here, I'm thinking I'm going to be doing my bantam chicken run, which will kind of butt underneath of this tree maybe, and then exit out that area there. It's going to be for the boys' pen, then the girls will have the rest. And then over here, I want to do a 10 foot by 10 foot on Zoom, a 10 foot by 10 foot like aviary for the quail. And then I'm gonna have non-toxic vines that will grow on the sides of it to add shade and flowers. And then I'm thinking about possibly getting a couple of the golden pheasants to put in here too. So I'll have golden pheasants and quail. Plan. May not be overnight, but that is my plan. And then we want to replace all of the paneling fence. So everything I'm gonna do, I'm gonna leave a good 3 to 4 feet distance between us and the fence on everything I do, because this fence broke during a storm when the tree fell on it. We have T-posts on both sides to support it, to keep it from falling, to keep the deer from coming in. But it doesn't keep the rabbits. But it does hold it up, and it's held up through some wind. That tree there fell on it. So I want to move my compost pile that's over here someplace else. I just don't know where exactly I want to move it. But then the aviary will be here. And then I'm going to put the pin over here along the side fence for the 2 rabbits. And the rabbits will move back here because they'll be nice and shaded and cool. And that way they will be able to, be able to tolerate the heat if it's shaded and they're not getting a whole bunch of sun. So that's why this needs to go. So I can stick my rabbit cage here. And I'll have that. And then in front of the rabbits, I'm going to do a big sunflower garden. That way it'll help block the rabbits from the sun, add some beautiful color, and give the rabbits a sense of security. All big plans. Big plans. The pigs are going to temporarily go next to the goats, between the goat pen and the chicken coop. I'm going to be setting that up, and they will stay there just temporarily. I'm going to get them a small shed to stick out in the side yard over here underneath the shade tree. And then they'll have free run of the whole side pasture with the female goats. They're 2 castrated male pigs. They're coonies. So I want them to be able to have access to as much grass as possible. I've gone through and sprinkled Bougainvillea seed in the side yard along with omega-3 plants for chicken and the ducks, kind of like little feedlots through that area, so that way that I've always got something growing for them. I really don't want to turn this side yard into a dry lot. I'm trying to be careful with what I'm doing to keep it from becoming a dry lot. I may even divide it into sections with movable fence, so that way things can grow and get a break from the animals. But goat poop is a cold manure, meaning that it won't burn the ground. So it should really help the grass and the ground be fertilized. The chickens, because they scratch, will help aerate the ground. The ducks will go through and pick the weeds out and eat the weed seed heads. Same with the geese. And the turkeys will help maintain a bug-free zone. I was thinking about getting some guineas, but I don't know if I want that noise. So, but this is the plan so far for this farm. I know there's a lot to be done. Unfortunately, I'm having to do it pretty much all myself. Jeremy with his bad back, and he's having feet problems and knee problems and everything else, is not physically able to do much with me, and he's not into any of this. He is into his computer and video games, politics, golf, sports, but he is definitely not a farm boy by any means. 100% city pretty boy, which is fine. It does get frustrating sometimes, knowing that I've got so much stuff to do and I have to do it alone. But this is my dream, so I have to remind myself when I get irritated, this is my dream, not his, and I can't make him do something that he's not into, because that's not fair. So it is what it is. Well, anyway, this is the beginning start of Sun and Star Farm. Please hit like and subscribe. The videos are going to be shaky because I just don't have the time with a full-time job, all of the farm animals, the 14 dogs in the house, to sit and edit videos. So they're going to be shot all in one go and posted on YouTube. And as I get things figured out and have more time, I will sit down and learn how to edit videos so that way they are more cohesive and have a much more appeal to them than what these will have. But I'm starting so much stuff from scratch, so it's kind of pick and choose my battles at this point. And this year's battle is getting my livestock set up and getting all of my buildings put up and fencing set up and learning how to take care of these guys, because I've never owned goats. I've never owned ducks, chickens, turkeys. What else do I have? I've never had quail. I've never had pigs. I know dogs. I can tell you stuff backwards and forwards to do with a dog, but all of these guys, this is all brand new to me. So, well, I'm gonna let this one stop. Oops, as you see me struggling over the fence. So, like I said, please like and subscribe and watch me learn how to be a farmer, because God knows I'm going to make a lot of mistakes, and God knows I don't even know what to say. Well, have a good evening, and like and subscribe and watch me grow this little farm on 1 acre in Zone 9, Texas. And let's see where I go with this. It'll be interesting. Talk to you later. Bye. Mm-hmm.